Welcome back to episode 14 of the Family Only series. Yep, it's still going, and it's going to keep going until it's finished. I've had a few people ask me about that, and rest assured, we'll get this one finished. Anyway, last time we left off, the family's been growing. Many of the children have reached adulthood, or at least they're getting really close. As a family, they face nearly every threat this forsaken planet has to offer, and they're still here. And they're thriving. Let's see what they've been up to since last time we stopped in. Well, it looks like there's still quite a big mess that needs to be cleaned up from the last raid. In fact, the entire map is a bit of a mess right now, isn't it? Let's get to work cleaning that up. We can start by shredding the rest of these mechs, and we can break down some of this extra armor. The family's been growing really quickly, and we're going to need more bedrooms soon. Let's plan out that expansion down here, down in the southeast corner of the base. That'll at least give us 3 more bedrooms. It is going to cut back on the amount of space the animals have for grazing, but that's okay. We need less animals anyway. Well, Wennels have sent another raid. I imagine they still must be trying to take away the children. Probably need to replenish their ranks after losing so many of their members from all these failed raids. Ooh, yikes. One of the doors got left open from some rice that was left in the doorway. They are going to make it in the base, but this might actually work out for the better. Let's go ahead and call in a Janissary squad from the Empire. We can have them ambush them as they enter the hallway. Then we can clean up anything that remains after that. Well, a child walking right through the battle is definitely not the greatest idea. Man, those Janissaries got shredded, didn't they? Oh well, the family should easily be able to clean up the rest of this. Actually, there's quite a few more than I realized. This choke point at the end of the hallway will even up the numbers at least. And they're a berserk in the back, that should help. Finally, there they go. But of course, they're going to try to take out a lot of doorways on their way out. Man, I really wish they'd fix that. They really should try to retreat at the way they came in, right? Kind of silly that they try to break down a steel door instead of just going out the space they already opened. Oh well. Ooh, one of our prisoners is not happy. I guess they've had enough of being locked in a room and continuously having their genes extracted. Well, it looks like Brigand took it upon himself to deal with this little problem. It seems a bit excessive to shoot her, but hey, that's on him. Oh, wonderful. Victor's reached 7 years old and he's having a birthday. Well, construction and mining are good choices here. Unfortunately, his traits are just awful. You know, let's actually go with no trait. Better than what the other options are. Well, happy birthday anyway, Victor. Hopefully next one's a little bit better. Meanwhile, the bedrooms are coming along really nicely. We should be able to finish those soon, and we can have some of the children move in. Hey, Jane finished a bed that ended up as a work of art. It's titled Beat by Brotherhood. That's kind of weird. It contains an engraving that resembles an engineer looking comradely. Playing roulette with a large group of vampires. Wait, is this supposed to be a bed for a child? It contains gambling and vampires? They've been living on this planet too long, and I think it's starting to get to them. Let's have a little party to celebrate Victor's recent birthday. Hey, that went well. It was fun for the family at least. And it gave us enough goodwill to ally the Empire. On top of that, we got an extra reform point. That's great. What a great party. Speaking of allied with the Empire, they're asking for help securing a crashing shuttle. Let's accept this for a bit of honor and get a bit closer to getting the rank we need to finish the run. It's the Sholor Accord that have sent raiders to kidnap the crew. Let's go ahead and see if we can stop them. Oh man, I really hate when that happens. I press the hotkey for low shield and it drops 2, and since we had to. RIP my low shields. At least it should make the raid easy. Yep, we managed to clear them out before the shield drop, making it a pretty easy quest. One step closer to getting off this planet. And yet another birthday has occurred. These are really happening frequently now. This time Max is turning 10 years old. Shooting passion is perfect here. And mining and cooking can be chosen as well. We'll give him the optimist trait. That works out pretty well. It's a lot better than his brother. Happy birthday, Max. Oh no, Peter and Ollie are fighting it out in the freezer. I guess they decided to find a place where no one would see and hash out their differences. If only one of the parents were there to try to stop them. Or at least an older sibling. Instead, they fought until one collapsed, and it was Ollie. Poor kid. Man, they were even biting each other. That is rough. At least there's no permanent damage. Ooh, and to make things worse, at only 19 years old, Brigand has begun to suffer from organ failure. In RimWorld, known as organ decay. We're going to have to either find a replacement or craft a bionic for him. Honestly, I think we're going to swap the research over to bionics here. Work on getting an even better heart for him. Better than trying to take one from someone else. And just to pile even more problems on top, a mech attack has arrived. And it's a breach raid. Even better. I really hate mech breach raids. Fortunately, it is pretty small. Unfortunately, it's attacking on the east, which is going to be the trickiest side to defend against, since the wall is still far from finished. Let's see if we can pick off the termite when it comes around the corner. That's going to make the rest of the raid quite a bit easier. Alright, there we go. Termites down. The rest of the mech should be pretty simple here. Well, they've pushed forward more, and now we don't have a great angle on them. Let's use smoke to cover half, and try to slowly pick off the rest of the mechs at one at a time. Awesome, that worked perfectly. Now we just need to haul these mech bodies inside and we can shred them. After that, another birthday. This time it's Arlen. And he's becoming a full-grown adult. And he's chosen his own nickname for himself. Bicep. Not what I would have picked. Well, anyway, with so many children, these things are happening more and more frequently, aren't they? Passion for shooting is hard to say no to. Let's also grab mining. Great memory seems like the best trait choice here, so let's go with that. Happy birthday, Bicep. Bionics research is already almost half finished, and luckily, Brigand's heart decay hasn't really increased that much. Jeez, another birthday on top of that. Ollie's turned 7 years old. I'm glad to see that he's recovered from getting beaten up by his brother. Another shooting passion? Perfect, definitely grabbing that. Let's also get animals and intellectual. As for the trait, steadfast is the only acceptable one, but at least it is a good one. Let's go with that. Looks like it's all raids and birthdays right now. Winnows are back at it again to try to steal away whatever children they can. Luckily they haven't even been slightly successful, but it only takes one success for the colony to suffer greatly. They're moving down the west wall, so let's see if we can get a few pickoffs here and there before they make their way inside. By slowly pulling them back, we managed to rout the raid before they even closed the gap completely. Nice job, family. Now, go save your doors. Great, bionics is finished, so now we can work on making a bionic heart to replace brigands. Not a moment too soon, since that organ decay is getting worse by the minute. Amelia's already hard at work crafting the heart to save her son. You know, I find it very endearing that Amelia's handcrafting the thing that will end up keeping her son alive. Alright, the bionic is done, and now we just need to install it. And hey, Jake is going to be the one to install it. The parents really worked well together on this one to save the life of their eldest son. They created him, and now they're going to help him live past age 20. That's actually quite lovely. Alright, not only has Brigand's heart decay been stopped, but now he has an even better heart, making him all around a better colonist. Win-win. Okay, moving on. In order for Jake to become a baron, we need to finish improving the throne room. He needs a better throne and a harpsichord. We did finish the harpsichord tech, it was a while ago, so we can work on crafting that. As for the throne, I think we have all the resources we need for a grand throne. It's the fine floor that's going to be the hardest part. We're going to need a lot of cloth for fine carpet. You know, we've got a couple birthdays there that we missed celebrating, so let's go out into the central hall and have a little lantern festival. And it was unforgettable. Perfect. I suppose it must be a beautiful sight to be out in the shrublands in the middle of the night with little to no light pollution. The sight of the lanterns floating through the night sky with a perfect star-filled backdrop, that must be pretty incredible. Let's go out and trade with this visitor who stopped by. Look at that. They've brought along a jump pack tech print. I'd be glad to trade basically anything to get that. Jump packs are so strong at this point in the run. Alright, we did have to trade a lot, but we got it. Let's get this thing analyzed and start researching jump packs. Gleb had previously lost a finger in combat, and although it might seem like overkill, let's replace the entire arm with a bionic. Now that we've got the tech, may as well replace all we can. It will make the raids a bit harder, but I think it's going to be worth it in this case. He'll have his finger back. I'm not really sure what they do with the leftover arm. Frankly, I've never thought about it before. I guess they feed it to the pigs? I really don't know. I'm not sure I want to know. Ah, great. Plague has returned to the colony. It never seems to stay away for too long. Luckily, we have these hospital beds now, and we have the vital sign monitor. Combine that with our good medical skill and good medicine, it should be pretty easy to take care of everyone and quickly get them immune. And here I was thinking, that's going to be as bad as things get, right? Well, no. That would be boring. Instead, some mechs have begun to drop from the sky. The group is made up entirely of scythers. Let's try to hit them with mortars before they can attack. Hopefully at least soften them up a bit. Well, they're attacking now, so we need to pull them back to a choke point so we don't get overwhelmed. We've got Max and Victor in the back line, helping the family out by chucking some EMP grenades into the mix. You know, it is nice to get the whole family involved in the defense. Man, that was a lot of scythers, but at least we cleared them out, and hey, we even saved the turret. Nice work, folks. Now on to the task of cleaning this entire mess up. Really solid progress is being made in overcoming the plague. Only Bicep is a bit behind on immunity, but that 100% 10 there, that should make up for it. Let's bring the family in for a little dance party. Mood's good, but why not make it better? Well, that was prescient. Giving them a mood boost before everyone's favorite pig suffered a massive heart attack. Poor little guy. Man, he's already been suffering from the flu. He's 14 years old now. He's had a good life. I think the best course of action here, and I hate to say it, but is put him out of his misery. We can bury him with the other pigs. R.I.P. Oink. We'll miss you, little buddy. Well, we've got to move on. We need to finish filling the throne room with fine floors before we can progress any further. It really is going to take a while. It's shocking how much cloth each one of these squares of fine carpet takes. Oh hey, some visitors have arrived and they brought a few items to trade. Actually, you know what? Instead of trading with these guys, I'm just going to offer a gift. We'll give them all of our extra junk and let them take it away for us. Plus, we'll get some goodwill out of it. Win-win. Next up, let's have a little party in our temple. It was a fun party, and now we're at 9 development points. Getting really close to a reform. You know, we really need to finish this eastern expansion on the base. The next step is going to be putting floors in all around this little grow area. It's going to be really nice to have the extra movement speed for the next raid that comes through here. Oh, speaking of raids, a group of manhunting rhinos have charged in. At least it's really not too many of them. We better keep everyone hidden inside until they get bored and leave. Oh my god, I forgot about the visitors. They walked right into the worst possible place. And of course, to make things just a little bit better, a few rhino have taken the opportunity to make their way past the outer wall. Awesome. At least we still have the backup wall. Everyone should still be safe inside. Oh man, an elephant is self-tamed, but it chose the worst time ever to do so. I'd really like to get it inside, but if it goes through the doors, the rhinos are going to follow, and that would be really bad. Well, I was going to instead leave it outside, but it's already fighting with a rhino. That is not great. Let's see if we can help this thing, because I just feel terrible for it. Well, that immediately backfired spectacularly. The rhinos have beat through the outer door, and now we're going to have to hold the inner door. Okay, good, the door held. Let's see if we can move up to the northeast here and drag them over, spread them out a little bit. Okay, that worked. All the rhino are dead now, and we managed to save the elephant. Good work, everyone. Now we have a massive mess to clean up. Forget about the mess. To get our mind off the carnage, Jake is putting on a little concert for the family. I'm still not sure how he has any clue how to play the harp, but oh well. Let's work on expanding the base a bit more. These raids are getting pretty substantial, and as you can tell from that smell emanating from the field to the southwest, the family really needs an answer to the post-raid cleanup problems. This new room can serve as a crematorium. 3 electric crematoriums ought to do the trick. You know what the question is, though? Who's going to be in charge of the cleanup? Maybe the kids. Next up, it's time to start growing the next family member. The embryo is all ready to go, so let's pop it in the machine and let the growth begin. At this point, we really need to start looking for partners for our older children so we can start branching the family out. Get a nice tree going. We still haven't finished flooring the entire throne room, but we did finish crafting the harpsichord, which is also necessary for continuing through the Empire ranks. Let's get that installed in the throne room. The massive size of this thing is making me realize the throne room is kind of small. Then again, there is already a massive shortage of cloth for the floor, so maybe the size is plenty. Oh yeah, and the throne is done too. Nice. Just a few more floors and Jake's going to be ready to receive his next rank. The crematoriums haven't been built yet, but we may as well throw a floor in here while we have the opportunity. Then we just need to finish the crematoriums and add the conduits, and we got this new room all ready to go. You know, it's starting to occur to me that this base is awfully square. Not square in the lame sort of way, just in the shape. It's too square shape. Let's use the new circle tools to start adding a bit more variety in here. Well, one circular room is probably not going to make a huge difference, aesthetically speaking, but it's a start. Instead of just expanding this garden room down, this new room is going to be dedicated to more neural superchargers. There's already a few in the temple, but ideally we need one for each pawn, and that's going to take up quite a bit of space. Man, look at those stats. I just want to take a second to appreciate how awesome Gleb has become at only 15 years old. An exotic goods trader has arrived in orbit. Let's see what they have to trade. We can get rid of some of these pigs. We definitely don't need this massive of a herd. In exchange, let's get a Berserk Pulse Side Trainer. I would really like to get the crafting skill trainer too, but that's going to be a bit too expensive. What I can get is this bionic ear. We do need one of those. I am going to have to trade quite a bit of plasteel on top of things. But that's okay. There's plenty of plasteel coming in. With that new bionic ear, we can give Brigand an upgrade. Instead of a cochlear implant, now he has a powerful bionic. Much, much better. Also, let's make sure Jake gets his new Psycast learned. He's not high enough level to actually use it, but he can still consume the item so it's not just sitting around. At least this way, there's no risk of it being destroyed. He'll be able to start using it as soon as he levels up, and that's going to be massively useful. I really absolutely adore Berserk Pulse. It's definitely one of the best Psycasts in the game. At least one of my favorites. Oh dang, Amelia has an Inspired Creativity. Let's try to make something really good with this. You know, it's really lucky that our crafter is the one with the Inspired Creativity. We'll get a +2 to the quality of the next thing she crafts. I think we'll go with the new assault rifle. Oh, and just then, Marine Armor Tech has finished up. Next up, let's work on researching pulse charge munitions so we can start making charge rifles. The range won't be quite as good as an assault rifle, but they sure do a lot more damage. Not to get completely sidetracked from Amelia's masterpiece, but we need to reform our ideology. Let's add human primacy, which allows us to add production specialist as a role in the colony. Amelia can become our crafting production specialist and start getting a +1 to the quality of everything she crafts or constructs. Now we need to perform the ritual to turn Amelia into our production specialist. There we go. This worked out quite nicely. So, with the timing of Amelia becoming production specialist, having the Inspired Creativity, and the family unlocking Marine Armor Tech, instead of finishing the assault rifle, I've decided to have her craft a full suit of Marine Armor. She's going to get +2 quality from the Inspiration, and +1 from the Specialist role. I really hope that gives us a legendary piece of armor. Well, nope, we got Masterwork, but hey, that's still a pretty fantastic piece of armor. It's going to provide a massive amount of protection to whoever we end up putting it on. Speaking of, let's throw it on Brigand. Now, we just need to get him a helmet. Earlier, we took a look at how far Gleb had progressed at only age 15. Now let's look at Wallace, who's 18 now. He is an absolute monster. 16 shooting, 17 plants, 15 social, and 9 medical. All that with tough and fast walker. What an absolutely incredible colonist. You know, we need to get him a nickname soon. I wonder what we're gonna pick. Things have been so peaceful over the last few days, and now a large group of angry megasloths have arrived to shake things up. Well, maybe not shake things up, it's not all that exciting because, just like before, everyone's going to take this opportunity to hide out inside and not open any doors. Come to think of it, now would be a nice time to have some windows. At least we can take this opportunity to get a bit of work done inside. Let's install a new bed into our Stellark's future room. I think we are going to need some art in there too, but we can work on that later. Speaking of art though, first let's finally get around to crafting the ideology statue. After that last reform, we don't have to worry about spending hundreds of resources on getting it crafted. Now we can just make this small statue. Well, we've got a birthday and an infestation at the exact same time. Let's take care of the birthday first. It's a birthday for one of our youngest members, Peter. He's turning 7 years old today. The trade options are pretty rough, so we'll go with Nimble. He's got 4 skills to choose from though, so let's pick construction, animals, mining, and plants. Happy birthday, Peter. Alright, now on to the infestation. Well, we've got to wait just a little bit here, at least until the Mega Sloths get bored. We can skip ahead though. Let's send a few of the family members out to try to pull the bugs back to the walls. There we go, we've got their attention, and they're charging. Let's lure them further back, behind the exterior walls where we're going to have the advantage. Ooh, they closed the gap so much faster than I expected. Wallace and Amelia have already taken some damage too. That is not good. Let's get back to the door. We can use that as a choke point. I'm going to go ahead and request reinforcements from the Empire here. They can flank from behind. That should help. We need to make sure the bugs don't flood through the door. Man, the Empire's basically doing nothing. That's really nice. Well, the family took quite a bit more damage than I would have liked, but we did finish off the bugs. Everyone's safe and sound. That's the end of episode 14. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for updates on all future videos. For those of you who made it all the way to the end, please consider checking out my Patreon to help support the creation of more videos like this one. You'll find the link in the description below. Thanks for watching, and see you for the next one.